Hey guys, Greg with Planet Green Zen, and thank you for coming to my channel. Now, as always, for the people of Zen out there, I have a couple of questions. Do you ever feel like you are making decisions without thinking about them? Or how about this? Can you finish a friend's sentence before they can even spit out the words? Well, in today's video, what we're going to discuss is, are you living a pre-programmed life? So stay tuned. Planet Green Zen, inspiring the everyday person to break free from the mundane and take action. But before we jump into that, if you guys have never been to this channel, what I really love to do is just inspire the world mentally, physically, spiritually, financially, and socially, because I truly believe that if we all had a holistic yin-yang balance of each one of those areas on earth, we would eliminate hunger, famine, slavery, war, disease, poverty, and have more health, wealth, and abundance together as one human unit on this entire planet. So if you guys believe in similar messages, do me a favor, subscribe to this channel, hit that bell notification so you can be notified when new videos are released, comment below, let me know your thoughts on these different topics that we cover, and share these out with people in your community who needs to hear these messages. Okay, so let's go ahead and dive into it. So again, I really want you guys to think about these different topics that we cover, because when you start to really quiet all of the noise around you and really use your mind and think, because Earl Nightingale said that most people do not think. And when you actually really peel back the onion layers that's built up inside of you, you start to realize that you were not thinking most of your life, that you've been just following a system of pre-programmed habits that doesn't take really any effort or anything on your part to just do. You just do these actions, and then when you step back and think about those, you're like, wow, okay, I was not thinking, but now I would like to think. And you start to ask yourself these internal questions, and then your behaviors and subconscious mind starts to readjust and reprogram itself to serve you better as a person, so you can start to live out your true purpose on this planet. So I want everyone to really just listen to these different questions that I have and just ask yourself these same questions internally, just to see what types of answers come to you. So think about this. When you listen to music, is it truly something that you've actually picked out yourself? Or was that programmed into you from the people you were around since you were a kid, from the different influences you had in your life? So think about that. How about this one? When you eat food, is that food that you really developed a taste for by yourself? Or is that something that was pre-programmed into you? So think about this. When you go to other countries, such as certain parts of Asia, where you see that people are eating food that is still moving and alive, to people in America, that's disgusting and nasty for the most part. But those people were programmed to eat that way, and they've seen it their whole life since they were kids, so it's normal to them. Just like some things that we eat, people are probably like, that's disgusting around the world. But again, we've been programmed to eat those foods, so to us it's second nature. So again, are you really eating foods that you developed a natural taste for, or have those been programmed into you? What about this one? When you speak a certain language, did that come to you naturally, or was that programmed into you? And the way you can answer that is, think about this. Ask yourself another question. If you take a baby that was born in America, that's an American baby, does that baby automatically grow up speaking English, or is the language programmed to the baby? So if you take that same baby and put them in, let's say, Asia or Europe or different parts of or maybe India, would that baby be fluent in English naturally, or would it pick up the language of wherever land it's in? And then if it were to learn English, would it have an accent? So think about that. Also this one, your taste in clothes or jewelry, how did that come about? Again, the people you hang around, your cultures, your environment, your experiences, do you dress like the people you're trying to be like and mimicking as far as your friends and family? Or did you develop this taste by yourself? And again, even if you say, well, I developed it, was that influenced by culture for music or characters in movies and TVs or cartoons or anime? Are you being programmed to just try to be like someone else versus an individual? So really think about that. Also this one, guys, you're needing to be accepted into a specific social status. Was that programmed or taught into you? Again, we want to be like everyone else around us instead of an individual. So when you want certain clothes and certain jewelries and certain cars and things like that, is that something that's being programmed into you? Or are you naturally wanting that just because it's something that you would have found by yourself without having any outside influence from magazines, TVs, well, nowadays, not magazines, mostly social media, Instagram and TikTok and things like that, or YouTube. So really think about that, guys. Also, traditions, religions, and cultures that we have, were those programmed to us, or were we naturally just, following those different cultures and religions? Or did we have things programmed to us since we were kids to think a certain way and to believe a certain faith or into a certain type of deity, as they say? So again, really think about that, guys. Why do you think people have fights and they kill each other over the world? Because they have different belief systems. Were those naturally, were they just born into those, or were those programmed into them? So really think about that. Now, your mindset regarding money, wealth, again, was this beamed out into your soul, or was it programmed into you? So a lot of people say, well, money is the root of all evil. Money doesn't make you happy. I don't really need a lot of money to be happy or to live life. I just need to accept life the way it is. Just be happy with what you have. Are those your thoughts and your words, or was that programmed into you? Because think about it, those same people who say that are typically exchanging their time and life for money, and they're not really doing anything to help the world become a better place. Because why? They cannot afford it. That's the first words that come out of their mouth. Well, I don't make that much money. I can't afford that. So they just go and live this mundane zombie type of program existence and not really try to pursue anything. Because again, it's not just really, I want you guys to think about this. Most people who think that, as soon as you say that, they say, well, look, you always are talking about money, money, money. And that's not the point. The point is, when you pursue something greater than yourself, like if you have a goal to say, okay, I want to make, let's say $10,000 per month residual income. When you aim for that goal, the journey you're going on to reach that goal, again, it's not about the end result of that 10,000. It's about who you're becoming on that journey in that path. So once you reach that, you look back at yourself, say, wow, I've grown this much. I became this much better. I became a wiser person. I became more grateful. And now I can give back and help other people, because now I'm in a position where I don't have to think about money, because it's coming to me so abundantly and flowing like water and air. It's coming to me as easy as breathing air around you or turning on your faucet and getting water. That's how easy money flows to me now. So then once you accomplish that, you can start to focus on things that actually matter. Because a lot of people who say that is because they're trying to convince themselves that they're happy with what they have, even though they're not, and they convince themselves to not pursue a life of greatness or abundance. So by saying that, that's the easy way out, because again, you don't have to pursue anything. But when you're on that journey of self-discovery, personal development, failure, pain, all that stuff, it helps you become more humble. So I want you guys to really think about that. So again, I will say it again. Your mindset regarding wealth and money, was that beamed out into you, or were you naturally just thinking the words that you're saying right now? Now, the current life that you're living now, again, was that taught to you? As far as most people are taught to go to school, get an education, to get a job, where there's no type of purpose behind that, where people just do. That's why they just go. Some people get an engineering degree and end up working at McDonald's, becoming a supervisor. That does not line up. So again, your current way of living and your thought process, was that taught to you, or did you naturally just say, well, I want to do this because this is what I truly want? Or is that who have you seen, your family, friends, uncles, cousins, teachers, mom, dad, all those people taught you to pursue that life? They pursued that life. And then you say, well, most people don't work in their degrees, but I could get a degree so I could have a good social status and just be accepted by most people, but totally working a different way, having massive debt for the rest of your life, being kind of miserable and being stuck and feeling like you're in prison. So I want you guys to really think about that. Your current life that you're living now, is that natural to you, or were you taught to live that way? I'll just leave you guys with one more, because we could just keep going on and on, but I wanted to kind of jumpstart your mind to start thinking about this stuff, because if you don't, you're just going to live a pre-programmed mundane life. And again, you're going to have regret when it's time for you to end. And when you kind of feel it and you know it's your time to end, like if you are grateful enough to make it to an older age, 80, 90, 100, and when you know it's your time is coming as far as to leave this world, will you have regrets? Will you have done everything that you wanted to do in life? Or you say, well, I wish I would have done this, or if I was just a little more braver, or had more courage, or just live my life versus trying to live someone else's life or making other people happy. I want you guys to seriously marinate on this stuff. So the last one is, how about your current educational beliefs? Were those programmed into you, or were they natural? Like I said, just now, go to school, get education, get a job. You have to get a degree in order to be smart and wise. Again, our not are smart. I guess you could say the way people are measured as far as their intelligence is by how many degrees they have. But again, I live by many quotes, as all of you guys know, and one goes, many people have been schooled, but very few have been educated. So think about that. Many people have been schooled, but very few have been educated. Why are some of the wisest, smartest people, humblest people on earth barely got like a high school degree? Again, I want you guys, or high school diploma, I should say. I want you guys to really think about that. Some of the wisest, because a lot of us, we just think that, oh, by getting this degree, I'm going to have a good social status. I'm going to have a very happy life. I'm going to be very successful, make a lot of money. But you have so much debt that you have to keep begging for other people to give you money, like a job, versus creating your own income and your own path. And then when you do create your own income and path, yes, you probably will actually put in more time than at a corporate job, but then you actually have more time freedom. So, it's a give and take to where, okay, I'm going to put a lot of time in the beginning, but then once I do that, I will be able to have a lot more abundance and freedom, be able to spend time with my family, be able to give back, be able to go travel the world, help other people out, because you cannot do that working 40, 50 years for someone else, being tied to just like a cubicle or like a prison box. You got to have flexibility with your life. So I want you guys to just really marinate on that. So as always, I want to leave you guys with a quote of the day. And this quote is from Les Brown. He's a very, very great inspirational speaker. He says, "We were all born originals, but most of us die copies." This is Greg with Planning Green Zen signing off. You guys have a great day. Talk to you soon.